Listen up, boys. We're gonna talk about something really uncomfortable. Yep, I'm going there. I'm gonna tell you 3 things that you're probably doing right now that are not helping your erectile dysfunctional cause. And they're probably going to surprise you. First and foremost, get off the bottle. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about bottled water. And I'm talking about plastics altogether. The endocrine disruptors found in plastic are messing with your T levels in a really big way. All of us are guilty of consuming things wrapped in plastic, put in plastic, and we're drinking various liquids out of plastic. And the really bad news is that the average American consumes a credit card worth of plastic a week. That's right, you heard me right, a week. A credit card worth of plastic a week. So, what's that got to do with your ability to perform? Well, there's this little thing in plastic called xenoestrogen. It's a chemical that mimics estrogen, and it makes you estrogen dominant. But the worst part is, for men, is that's messing with your testosterone in a big way. And bottled water is a double whammy, meaning it counts for number 1 and number 2 for this very reason, because 1, it's plastic, and 2, it's water. Now, water is a solvent and a scavenger, and that means that it's going to absorb and take on whatever chemicals the container it's made out of that you put it in. You don't know how long that water's been in that plastic bottle, and that plastic heats and cools and sits, sometimes up to 2 years. The water is absorbing the petrochemicals that that bottle is made out of. Yes, petrochemicals. Oil, my friends. Listen, bottled water companies don't give a care about your health. As a matter of fact, bottled water companies aren't even selling water. They're selling bottles, which are horrible. Let me repeat that in case you didn't hear me. They are horrible for your health. The other part of the equation is that as water sits in that bottle, it just gets more and more chaotically structured. What does that mean? Water has a structure. And as it sits, it loses its ability to hydrate because it has a harder time getting through your cell walls. Listen, you'd never drink still water in nature. Water has a structure, and it goes over waterfalls and streams, and it gets energized and structured. And you could do that too if you boiled water, because it disappears. And that heat is restructuring the water. You can't drink that, but you can restructure your water electronically with the right ionizer. Now, not all ionizers are created equally. For that conversation, please watch my video on comparing ionizers. Having said that, the only ionizer I would ever put my name behind is the one that's an actual medical device made in Japan, which, by the way, is the hardest country in the world to get medical certification in. And this particular company has been certified as medical equipment for 48 years. Now, why does that matter? Because there's no plastic going into this ionized water. That means the water is restructured so that you can actually absorb it. What does that got to do with ED? Well, let's talk about a water balloon for a minute. And what happens to a water balloon when there's not enough water in it? You get the visual? Your body's 90% water. Are you making the connection yet? If not, let me spell it out. You might have ED because you're dehydrated. Could it really be that simple? It could. Please watch my video on why properly ionized water hydrates better, because not all water is created equally. So bottled water is a double whammy because not only are you getting the xenoestrogens and lowering your T levels, but even if that's not the case, you're very likely dehydrated because regular water, you just don't absorb it. And I don't care how much water you drink, you need to hear this. Did you know that you only absorb 15 to 20% of regular water? Properly ionized water allows you to absorb 85 to 95% of it. So, let go of the bottle and reach for something that's actually going to help you get your balloon up. If you want more information about which ionizer structures the water and holds properties longer, watch my other video on which ionizer is right for you. Oh, and that third thing, get off the junk. I'm talking about processed food. Sugar, quick fix garbage, you know, that stuff that has 0 nutrients, is full of acid, which, by the way, also dehydrate you, and it's clogging up your arteries. I'm Mickey Meisner, reminding you to get your water right so that your body can do its job. Heal itself.